Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jarek Defiler, and welcome back to A Patient Gamer Plays Mass Effect Legendary Edition. With our girl Tali and our boy Garrus over here. We pretty much finished everything that we could do in the Citadel with the exception of scan the Keepers. Now, off the recording, went around looking for the ones that I missed, because otherwise it would be kind of boring for you guys. And I found the last two that I narrowed it down to, and they were all in the embassy area here. So I'm just going to do those last two real quick so you guys can see where they are. Then we can finish that and head out into space. Exciting. So the Keeper missions do give you a bonus when you're done, when you do scan them all. So it is worth actually completing it. You don't just get the little XP boost that you get when you scan each individual one. You do get a big bump at the end, or you can also talk to, I don't know if it's the Volus Solon or Choron, whatever, the Solaris guy, the scientist. You can talk to them and refuse, and I think you'll get according to the wiki, you'll get like a bump in 8 Paragon points, but we're not going to do that. Quite frankly, I don't think we need to, because we have plenty of Paragon, and I don't think it's going to really hurt our Paragon. But I think you can also still scan all the Keepers and then refuse the quest or something like that, or maybe scan like 19 of the 20 and then refuse it, but you might not get the bonus. I'm not sure. There is a little kind of not glitches, but little bit of exploits that you can do to get max XP and all that, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to play regularly. So this should be the last Keeper. Data collection complete. And as you can see there, we got a bump of 460 XP. The 1200 about coin or money. I don't know what they call it in this game. Credits. I think it's credits, right? Yeah. All right, so that's finally done. And yeah, I don't think you have to turn it into any of the original quest givers. Just gives it to you. So cool beans. We are done. Now we can head out to space. So we have to expose Saren, which means we have to go to talk to the ambassador, who is at the Alliance docking bay. I think we'll just fast travel there. Might as well. So yeah, if you guys play and you do have trouble finding the Keepers, which is probably one of the only missions I ever have trouble with because it's just hard to track it. There's no like map markers or anything like that, so you just have to do it by memory. You can go onto the fan wiki of Mass Effect, and they have a map on there that shows where all of them are. Pretty handy. The fans do it again. CSEC, right? Where is CSEC? It feels like I haven't played in ages. There was a holiday yesterday, otherwise I would have... There we go. I would have done this video yesterday on Memorial Day, but I was out with the wife, and we were spending time together. So, I have to do it today. I forget which way is that. No, that goes up to the Presidium, right? I think this goes... Oh yeah, docking base, that's right there.
The Quarians endangered the entire galaxy when they let the Geth break free. I hope your people are properly contrite, Tali.
As the Turians are properly contrite for releasing the genophage upon the Krogan.
You're assuming that sterilizing them was a mistake.
Little bit of lore there. And as you can see, if you... Like, all these conversations that you'll have in the game, in elevators, just walking around and whatnot, will depend on your squad mates. So it's worth mixing up your squad, because you can get little snippets of lore and interactions and like some relationship building kind of stuff. Maybe not in numbers and statistics in the game, but just, you know, in your own head, relationship building kind of thing. There we go.
I've got big news for you, Shepard.
Oh.
Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
I will. What's going on? Forced retirement? I will.
I'll take good care of her, sir.
I know you will, Commander.
Why are you doing this?
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
There's more to this.
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard. They were considering me for the Spectres.
Should have told me what went wrong. You hid this from me. You should have told me.
Why didn't you ever mention this?
What was I supposed to say? I could have been a Spectre, but I blew it?
Yes.
I failed, Commander. It's not something I'm proud of. Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story. For now, all you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me. I had my shot. It came and went. Now you have a chance to make up for my mistakes.
You can count on me.
I won't let you down, sir.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharaoh system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
What about the Reapers? Is that it? What about the Reapers?
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
Count on me? Is that it? I'm on it. Count on me.
I'll stop him.
Yeah, I like that. I'll stop him.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
I'll start with Ferris. I'll start there. I'm going to Noveria. Well, we want to build the squad. So I'm thinking we go and get Liara first. I mean, we'll probably do some side missions first. They usually don't take too long. So yeah, let's start with Liara.
Sounds like we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
I'll be careful. It might be necessary. That's your job. I really want to say that's your job, but we're going the Paragon route, so stick with the theme. I'll be careful.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
What do you guys think? Should I be more loyal to humanity, or should I be more loyal to the Alliance and the Spectre cause and all that? Kind of the greater good kind of thing, or my people kind of thing? I don't know. Okay, so we'll find Liara first. Geth interest probably next. Actually, Geth attack after that, and then Geth interest. I don't think we'll get to all that today's video. Probably just do Liara. And maybe we can do one of these before we end the video. I'd like to get these out of the way. I don't like building up side missions. I like to knock them out. And most of them are fun. They're not that bad. And they usually don't take too long, so... yeah. Oh, we can inspect the Normandy weapons. Get a little bit XP from that. And go up here and inspect the hull. Look at that beautiful ship. This is the iconic Normandy, ladies and gentlemen. The SR-1. There will be different iterations going on in the trilogy. But this is like home. You know? Feels good. Sensual. Sexual. Yeah. But, oh. There's another keeper. Okay. Well... at least we know where the last one is, so I guess there's 21 in total. Right down. So, cool. If anybody had trouble finding them, there's an extra one. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to Captain Anderson and get this ball rolling.
Yes, Commander?
Are you okay? Investigate, you worked with the Spectres. Are you okay?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing.
Get used to it.
You're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
Okay, Keith David, you and Saren have a past.
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now.
I just said that.
Our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Spectres. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
Why hide this? What happened? You lied to me. What happened?
I think I deserve the whole story.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
Something went wrong. This doesn't matter. Something went wrong?
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned.
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
Was anyone hurt? That's a little extreme. Good plan. Was anyone hurt?
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians.
Damn.
Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated. Mission accomplished. And I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
You got blamed?
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Wasn't your fault. That's not fair. Forget about the past. It wasn't your fault.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
That's not fair.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent? I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I already said that.
I don't.
Eh,
I blame
Give
Maybe
it.
he just likes the violence.
give it. Alright, this doesn't
Trying
matter.
To make me look bad to keep humans
The only
out
thing
of
I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
Alright, let's investigate a little bit about Pharos.
Any extra intel you can give me on our colony at Pharos?
The entire planet used to be one giant Prothean city. Mostly ruins now. But some of the infrastructure is still intact. The colony tried to build on what the Protheans left behind. We lost all contact with them when the Geth attacked.
And the eyes look really cool in the characters. Artemis Tau Cluster.
What do you know about the Artemis Tau cluster?
Not much. I've never been there myself. A handful of systems with a few small, uncharted worlds, but no real colonies. Might not be easy finding Dr. Tassoni out there. My advice is to look for the world with the Prothean ruins.
Okie dokie. What about Novaria?
What can you tell me about Novaria?
Novaria's trouble. Always has been. The whole planet's basically a center for corporations to conduct illegal research. Watch your back there, Shepard. Spectres are about the only form of Citadel authority Novaria respects. But they aren't popular.
I think Novaria is the ice planet, if I'm correct. Okay.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Alright, well, let's give it a quick save. I think we're ready to head off. Do these guys have
When
anything
I
to say?
first arrived on the Citadel, I spent nearly 3 hours being questioned by the officers here before they would let me enter the wards.
Oh, poor Toddy.
You always see a few civilians hanging around the academy waiting to speak to an officer about some problem or other.
Best voice acting ever. Alright, I just want to take a quick look around before we leave the Citadel. Check out the environment. Like little space station here. Or big space station, I should say. See the city in the background? They really put a lot of effort into this. You know, I mean, this is an older game, so there's not too much detail due to the hardware constraints. But it's still really impressive. I mean, everything, little detail, kind of like all these little, like, I don't know what you call those suction cup things that grab onto the ship to stabilize it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Docking bay's pretty awesome. Citadel's pretty awesome. Yeah, I just love this game. What can I say? Moving on. Back to the Normandy. Normandy. Normandy.
Stand by, shore party.
Ah, birds.
Decontamination in progress.
You ready?
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Thanks, Seth Green. This feels wrong. I'm ready. Let's go with a little humble.
Captain Anderson should be the one in charge. It's like I'm stealing the ship from him.
Yeah, the captain got screwed. But it's not like you could have stopped it. Nobody's blaming you. Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%.
Subtle rip of the neck.
Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
Need to be honest with them. Now we do things my way, which is obviously the renegade option. Let's keep this short. Neutral option, so we're going to go with, let's be honest.
This is Commander Shepard speaking.
We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy.
Humans must do its part. Eden Prime was just the start. Nobody's going to help us. Saren will be ready for us. Humanity must do its part.
For too long, our species has stood apart from the others.
Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of.
The audio levels are really off, blowing out my ears when he's on the intercom, but when they're talking regular, it's fine. Eden Saren, Saren can't hide from us. Saren will be ready for us. We must not fail. Eden Prime was just a start. Let's go with Saren will be ready for us.
Our enemy knows we're coming.
When we go into the Traverse, Saren's followers will be waiting for us. But we'll be ready for them, too.
Everyone is counting on us. We must not fail. We have no other options. Everyone's counting on us.
Humanity needs to do this.
Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped.
Rex,
And I
get on
promise
there.
you all, we will stop him.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
I won't let him down. Not if we fail. He doesn't matter anymore. I won't let him down.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Alright, we got some Paragon points. I need to look at something real quick because I always forget the keybinds to bring up the squad screen. U. That is a U. There we go. Alright, so we are... Oh, hey, we're almost leveled. Breakdown. Just need 23 more points. So we got 3.5 bars, which is really good. No renegade. Sticking with the theme. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to Joker. Give it a quick save.
Commander, something you need?
Status report.
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet.
Eyes a little
If you've
weird
got a
there.
pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
He has the right to brag. Joker is pretty awesome. I just want to talk.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
I didn't mean to insult you. What disease? Are you contagious? I think we already went through this when I first started the game like a couple of videos ago, but I can't remember, so we'll just go with it. I didn't mean to insult you.
I'm sorry, Joker. I didn't even know you were sick.
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolich syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic, but I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
I do like the sound of snapping shin bones. How'd you get your nickname? Tell me about your disease. What about your nickname?
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
Yeah, right. That's no answer. Yeah, right.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
So good. Were you unhappy? Seth Green did an awesome job as Joker, by the way. I mean, he is a good voice actor. Robot Chicken, Family Guy, and all that. So were you unhappy?
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy. Even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
Janitor, tell me about your disease.
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
How do you do your job?
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
I think that's about it. Alright, goodbye, Joker.
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
Alright, and we get a little experience from that, just from talking. Everything you do is rewarded. Investigating, talking, picking your nose, it's all good. You know, that's the world of Mass Effect and well, old school BioWare games, I should say. Navigator Presley, I think we already talked to him too.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
They're on our side. You have you doubt my decision. They're on our side.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, sir, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
True, but well, I mean, he was on our team. Aliens on the ship. I think we already went over this.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Never turn away help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
Yeah, good answer.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were one of the first reinforcements to arrive at Elysium after the Blitz hit. Those raiders were no match for an Alliance frigate. Of course, the only reason the colony was still standing was because of you, Commander. I can't believe you held out as long as you did.
Yeah, now you're here.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Man, the lore and the...
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. And we level up thanks to Presley and 2 Paragon points. The lore and everything behind Mass Effect is really huge. I mean, you're talking about like Star Trek levels, and it's all very, very good. You know, it makes me want to live in the world. Like, if I had to choose between like this and Elder Scrolls, I don't know. Like, where would I want to live? It's a tough one. Okay, we maxed out our charm. Oh, we got store discount breakdown. Sentinel. What did I want to go for? I'm pretty sure I was trying to make my way to lift. No. It's a barrier. Decryption. I think we'll hold off on that. Medicine. Medicine might be good. First aid. But do we really need that at this point? Not really. Maybe increase my Spectre training. It's a possibility. I can get Unity right now. Restores dead squad members. I don't think I'll need that though. Like, we're not playing on a super hard difficulty. The game's fairly easy. pretty sure electronics and stuff I have on Garrus and Tali, so I usually have one of them on my squad. Alright, let's just go for Master Throw. Increases the size and strength of Mass Effect field and allows you to throw more often. Okay, cool. Alright, so throw is maxed out. Easy peasy. Now if I could just remember how to use it, or when to use it. If we take a look at our key bindings here. Shoot, aim, holster weapon, da la 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 la, squad, attack, move, switch for quick clang, blah, 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 blah. Where is the actual skill abilities? I always forget what button they are. Huh. Am I just not seeing it, you guys? Throw grenade, holster weapon, order, rally, QRC, attack, move. Okay, we got that. Order, attack. I mean, I'm assuming it's quick slot. So that's probably what it is. 1 through whatever. Okay, let's go. I don't know if we'll ever even get to Liara, because I'm just walking around talking to everybody, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong. That is part of the fun of Mass Effect. Examine comlink. Sure, since we are here. Get a little bit more XP. I want to go talk to the doctor and Rex and everybody before we head out. Maybe won't be able to get to Liara this video now that this is taking so long. We'll probably do a side mission or something before we end the video and then do Liara in the next video. No rush. Just taking our time, trying to enjoy it. Let's talk to Caden. Hey, Caden. I'm like all slow creeping up on him.
Anything you need, Commander?
Looking for personal input. Tactical appraisal. Goodbye. Looking for personal input.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Tactical appraisal.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Okay, I think I'm pretty sure I already talked to him about that earlier. Alright, let's take all of those. Might as well. Dr. Chakwas. Get some metagel. See what's back here first. Anything? Anything I can examine? No. Chakwas.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
Personal questions.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with... Humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse. And the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth. But there's something special about working.
Yeah, we already talked to her about that, so we don't need to do that again. Who are we missing? Tali, Garrus, and Rex, I'm thinking. Because they are all new, and we haven't talked to them since they've been added to the crew. Got some new codex data. Let's go examine the sleeper pods. A little bit more. Anything else back here? Nope. Just free XP. Just going around investigating, learning. Can always go to the codex and check out stuff too. You know, so much lore. There's the Batarians. I mean, look at all this. This is like, for those of you who are lore buffs, you know, and story buffs and stuff, which I am, you can just read all this and just, you know, spend like a couple hours just reading through all that. Well, maybe not a couple hours, but a little bit. And just have some fun, you know? Building the story, checking out the landscape of the narrative of that which is Mass Effect. It's awesome. Okay, I think Tali is back here. My girl Tali. Engineer Adams, I think we already talked to him.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian Tali?
Nope, maybe not.
She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
She bothering you? I'll talk to her. I'll get rid of her. She bothering you?
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
She's useful. I didn't. Goodbye. She's useful.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander.
Oh, that's tripping me out.
Why you came down here?
The background. Woof. Did I already talk to him?
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
Oh dear.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster than light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Oh yeah. Okay, we've already talked about that before. But again, just cool. Just all this lore and just learning about their ship, learning about different characters. Like now we know Tali is like a genius engineer. And it's because she's a Quarian and they all live on fleets. They don't have a planet to call home. So they just live on ships. They're born, bred, and raised on ships. And so they know everything about ships. They just, by nature.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
This ship's special. Normally they're not. Gathering information on SB. Normally they're not. Actually, no. This ship's special.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
That's not why you're here? You're into ships? Yeah.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource.
There you go.
But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
That was 300 years ago.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Let's ask about the Quarians.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
Like what?
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
The Conclave?
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
You're democratic?
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
As you can see, it's really interesting, like, backstory to all these races and everything. And, like, going on in the future, you'll realize why the Quarians might be so reluctant to engage in, like, space battles and things like that, because you're it would be like you fighting with your home. You like bringing your house with you and on the war front and fighting to defend Stalingrad kind of thing. You know, it's just like, why would you? Geth.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
She is very willing to talk about this stuff. Tell me.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
Isn't AI research illegal?
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. 1 million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
The neural network? Why did they turn on you? The neural network.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
Oh dear. Why did they turn on you like a hive mind?
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
Yeah, really great writing. Just like the whole lore aspect is just awesome. They really put a lot of thought into this. And it makes sense. It's a lot of, I mean, I guess you could say science behind the science fiction, but, you know, who knows for sure. I don't get it.
That doesn't make any sense.
It does.
I'd probably oversimplify it. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose?
That's how it starts.
As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
Why? What happened next? Why?
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
They defended themselves. It was your fault. What did you expect? They defended themselves.
Can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the veil. Now we drift through space, exile, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
They defended themselves. Serves you right. They defended themselves.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
Not everyone. Sorry. Okay, you're right. I'm not surprised. Sorry.
I didn't mean to offend you.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get so worked up. Most Quarians tend to have pretty strong opinions about the Geth.
Alright, man. Well, so much for doing a side mission. Like, too busy just listening to lore. Pilgrimage.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Do they always accept? Sounds dangerous. Do they always accept?
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Do they always accept? Oh yeah, I just said it.
Choose to reject
That doesn't happen often. Most
Okay, yeah, I already just asked that.
It's not the best
Let's
way
change
to make a
topics.
good impression.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
That was it. Okay, wow.
I should go.
See you later.
So yeah, there you go. That's the Quarians and the Geth and Tali, our girl Tali, who's probably my second favorite romance, next to Jack. Actually, probably Jack and Tali are probably both my favorite romances together. Tied, I think. Yeah, Garrus next.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with a Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
You knew?
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
It's not that bad. You shouldn't complain, True. It's not that bad.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
As someone who has worked for the state of California for several years, I can agree with this. That was your reason? I see. That was your reason.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. C-Sec's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
Oh, it's a tough decision. You'll get over it. Forget about it. You'll get over it. It's a tough decision.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside C-Sec. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without C-Sec headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
That depends. Whatever sounds good to me. That depends.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
That's right. Put you in your place, Garrus. Know your role, lizard. Alright. Let's talk to... Oh yeah, you can also change the equipment of all your guys here, which is nice. Handy. Let's talk to Rex.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
Personal inquiry.
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story.
He looks really good with the new textures and stuff.
Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
She gave me plenty. Come on, just a short one. Don't be an ass. Usually, like, the Krogan will like more renegade options because they're just a tough kind of, rough warrior race. But sticking with the Paragon, come on.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
Such a negative Nancy, Rex. That's unfortunate. Yeah, big deal. But man, those textures look really good. Like, looks way better than the original.
Heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It isn't? Sure it is. Of course it is. It isn't?
Seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I see your point. Not exactly, so what? I see your point.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Touchy subject? I won't. Touchy subject.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Damn, he looks good. Like all the lines in his face and everything. Let's ask about extinction.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
So?
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What about genophage?
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
What?
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? Ask a Krogan. Would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
I see.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Yeah, rough life, the Krogan. But, again, it's important to talk to all these guys to get some backstory because it will really tie into a lot of stuff going in the future. You don't have to do it, but it pays because not only do you get experience, but you also get a really healthy dose of the world and the universe that is Mass Effect.
Commander?
Can we talk? I don't know if I want to talk. I think that's like a romance option. I don't really want to go there with her. But let's see what we're doing. Can we talk?
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
How are you doing?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
That we saved your unit. We tried to get there sooner. Stop dwelling. That we saved your unit.
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, sir. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
Don't blame yourself. You couldn't know. Be more alert. Don't blame yourself.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
Sir, they have
Good point.
flashlight heads. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Alright.
Dismissed, Chief.
We're not gonna go romance with her. I mean, I like Ashley. She's cool. But we already decided on Tali. So, I think that's it. Yeah. Went over for 15 minutes. So we're gonna end the video here. Sorry we didn't get to do an actual mission, but that is the, you know, the consequences of playing Mass Effect. Really, BioWare games in general, old school BioWare games, it's very narrative driven. You're not really playing for the combat and the stuff. You're playing for the stories, the characters, relationships, and the lore, which I love. So we'll end it here. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Jarek Defiler. You guys have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on where you are. I'll see you guys in the next video, where we'll probably go and rescue Liara and maybe do a side mission. We'll see. Take it easy.